Welcome to online lecture series in organic chemistry, and we are discussing the introduction to bioinorganic chemistry. In this video we are going to discuss the role of copper in biological systems. Now copper it is the third most biologically important transition metal after iron and zinc, and the daily requirement for adult it is 2 milligram of copper. Now our body obtain copper from various nuts, dried legumes, cow's milk, etc. And the distribution of copper in body is distributed in liver, kidneys, intestine. Now most important thing is the ceruloplasmin. It is the major transporter of copper in the human body. Now what are the functions of copper metalloenzymes? The transition metals like manganese, iron, cobalt, copper, these are the constituents of metalloproteins and metalloenzymes which play vital functions such as oxygen transportation, redox catalysis, etc. Now large amount of copper in the form of metalloenzymes are required to maintain high metabolic rate of heart and brain. Now copper occurs in our body in about 30 enzymes and proteins, and copper containing biomolecules along with their occurrence and functions we will discuss one by one. Now first of all, the blue copper proteins, these are azurines, especially it is from bacteria. Then stellocyamin, it is from liquor tree, and plastocyanin. These are basically all these blue electron carriers occur in algae, green leaves, and some other plants, as I said, and their main function is electron transfer during photosynthesis. Especially plastocyanin, these are electron carriers by making use of cupric and cuprous couple. Plastocyanin, it is involved in electron transfer during photosynthesis, as I said. Then next important copper biomolecule, copper containing biomolecule, it is lacase, and this lacases catalyzes the oxidation of number of diamines and diphenols. It occur in trees and fungals, responsible for oxidation of phenols and diamines. Next is ceruloplasmin. Ceruloplasmin, it is mainly occur in human or animal serum. So ceruloplasmin from mammals plasma, birds or amphibians and reptiles plasma, and it is an intensely blue protein containing 0.3% copper and found in plasma of most of the animals. As I said, plasma of most of the animals. It plays important role in iron metabolism, storage and transport of copper. It behaves as oxygen carrier for number of invertebrates, and it is weak oxidase activity iron and copper transporter. So this is about ceruloplasmin. This is most important biomolecule which contain copper. Now next is ascorbate oxidase or ascorbic acid oxidase. It is a plant enzyme containing copper and it catalyzes reduction of oxygen to water. For example, this oxygen, when it comes in contact with ascorbate oxidase, this oxygen, it is reduced into water. So reduction of oxygen into water, it is carried out by ascorbate oxidase. It occurs in plants. Another function is oxidation of ascorbic acid to dehydroascorbate. These are the two functions of ascorbate oxidase. Now next important biomolecule, it is under non-blue oxidase. It reducing oxygen to hydrogen peroxide, and it includes the galactose oxidase. This galactose oxidase or amine oxidase, it occurs in most of the animals, molds, etc. And this galactose oxidase catalyzes oxidation of primary alcohols to oxygen. Primary alcohols, it catalyzes oxidation of primary alcohols by oxygen to form aldehyde and water. Now several amine oxidase are also copper proteins converting oxygen to hydrogen peroxide. So this is about the galactose oxidase. It is non-blue oxidase. Now next important biomolecule, it is responsible for oxygen carrier, that is hemocyanin. So these are the non-hem respiratory oxygen carriers found in lymph of most of the mollusca and arthropoda. Now it is responsible for again oxygen transport, and the deoxy form of this hemocyanin, it is colorless and it contains cuprous ion, and oxygenated form, it is blue and contain cupric form of the copper, that is Cu2+. Now next biomolecule which contain copper, it is tyrosinase, and this tyrosinase, it is found in animal skin, insects and plants, and catalyzes oxidation of phenol, responsible for formation of pigments in plants and even in animals, and therefore it affects the skin pigmentations. And major sources of this tyrosinase, it is animal skin, insects, then melanoma, plants, adrenals, etc. Now some of the other biomolecules which contain copper, which includes superoxide dismutase, and this superoxide dismutase, it catalyzes the dismutation or disproportionation of superoxide into hydrogen peroxide and oxygen. It is found in fungal, and this is a reaction how superoxide, it is converted into hydrogen peroxide and oxygen. The superoxide, it is formed during the metabolic reaction, and which is not required, which is actually the superoxide ions are dangerous and result in damaging the cell, and therefore it need to be eliminated from the body. And this elimination of superoxide, it is done by superoxide dismutase. Now next biomolecule which contain copper, that is cytochrome C oxidase. This cytochrome C oxidase, it catalyzes electron transfer reaction and reduction of oxygen in some animals. It catalyzes the removal of hydrogen from substrate by using only oxygen as hydrogen acceptor. So this is cytochrome C. It is found in red blood cells of animals, mitochondria, etc. Now one more thing about the superoxide dismutase is there are three types of superoxide dismutase. Copper zinc protein found in cell containing nuclei. Second type is manganese protein, which is found in bacteria. And third is iron protein, which is found in again bacteria. So three types of superoxide dismutase is there, which is responsible to convert superoxide into hydrogen peroxide and oxygen. So these are the some functions of the copper containing biomolecules. Now at the end we are going to discuss ailments and diseases caused due to deficiency or excess of copper. Now since copper is present as an essential constituent in many metalloenzymes, problems arise when it is in deficient or in excess. Now severe deficiency of copper causes the demineralization of bones, anemia, then fragility of arteries, then hypopigmentation of skin, graying of hair. So these arises or it is caused due to deficiency of copper. Now if copper is not absorbed in the intestine, then it gives rise to Menkes disease. This disease, it is characterized by lower concentration of copper in plasma or urine, then anemia, depigmentation, and kinking of hairs or spiraling of hairs. Now next important disease which is caused because of abnormal copper metabolism. So abnormal copper metabolism, it is due to deficiency of copper, which gives rise to Wilson's disease. And in this disease, any impairness of binding of copper to ceruloplasmin results in excess of free copper in plasma. This free copper then enters in different tissues where it gets bound with the protein and finally gets deposited in liver, kidney, brain, and many. Actually it may cause the hepatic cirrhosis, brain neurosis, and renal damage. So this is about the role of copper.